Okay, so before Saturday's games start, I just wanted to do a quick update on the playoff picture in both the West and the East. And what you'll notice right off the bat is we've got a lot fewer teams that are either. I can't even qualify Pittsburgh as being in danger, but I threw them on there anyways because they're not that far above the skunk line. But and the skunk line is a term from crib, which makes me look either old or boring or both. St. Louis is at 36, 25, and 6. They have 78 points. They have 15 games left. If they go 500, if they go 7, 7, and 1 over those 15 games, they end up with 93 points. So how difficult does that make it for Arizona to catch up if St. Louis ends up being a wild card? Arizona at 10 and 5 over their last 15 games would not catch a 500 St. Louis Blues. The Dallas Stars, if they go 8 and 7 from here, they end up with 91 points. Arizona at 10 and 5 would also end up at 91 points. It gets difficult. Minnesota, if they go 500, they end up with 87 points. That may very well be the dividing line. My belief months ago was that 87, 88 points might be the dividing line in the West. It could very well end up being the case. Colorado, if they go 9 and 5 from here, and that's without Landeskog, they'd still end up with 88 points. The math for me takes Colorado off the board. The problem is they're only 4 points out. So for Colorado, it's a matter of trying to pass the teams in front of them. They only have 14 games left. Arizona has 15. Dallas and St. Louis both have 15 as well. It's going to be a tough go for Colorado. They're likely done, but if they could put together a big winning streak while Landeskog's out, before people say, well, that's not going to happen. When Pastrnak got hurt for Boston, people said, hey, well, there goes their number one goal scorer. Boston's probably going to be in trouble, and they haven't lost a game in regulation with them out. On the Eastern side, again, I can't see a situation where Pittsburgh doesn't make it. They're 36, 22, and 9 with 81 points, 15 games left. If the Penguins finish 7, 7, and 1, so if they go 500 from here, they have 96 points. I can't foresee 96 points not getting into the playoffs. If Carolina goes 9 and 6 from here, they finish with 97 points. And after that loss, that destruction by Winnipeg last night, we'll see how they rebound tonight and whether or not they can get to a 97-point season. Columbus, if they meander, 8, 7, and 1. So I just threw numbers together just to give you guys an idea of how difficult it is to move up or drop in the standing. Columbus, 8, 7, and 1. They'd finish with 94 points. If Montreal goes 500 from here, they finish with 92. So if both Columbus and Montreal finish at 500 records, if Columbus goes like 7, 7, and 2 from here, they finish 1 point ahead of the Montreal Canadiens. Those 2 games in end for Columbus, you do have to win them, but if they can win them, it becomes that much easier for them. Philadelphia, if the Flyers go 10 and 5 from here, they finish with 92 points, which likely isn't enough to get you into the playoffs. Because here you got the Penguins, 96 if they go 500. Carolina, if they went 9 and 6, they'd have 97. Columbus at 8, 7, and 1 would finish with 94. So Philadelphia needs to win a ton from here. And again, for Pittsburgh, the math's kind of So without looking at strength of schedule, and we've got too many games left to really talk about strength of schedule. When we're below 10, I can look at this again and I can say, okay, by strength of schedule, this team's likely the one. I would say in the West right now, I'm favoring St. Louis, absolutely. I think Dallas has an excellent chance to get in. It's really between Arizona and Minnesota. Now, with the way they're playing right now, and with Arizona having 2 games in hand, it is hard not to go with Arizona. But I do think Minnesota has the better roster. I think Arizona's been red hot, but I think Minnesota has the better roster. So I'm favoring things not to change in the West. In the East, Pittsburgh, I can't see them falling out. I can't see Carolina either. This is where it's difficult. Because I do think Montreal is better than the last 2 games have shown them to be. I still think that they're likely a playoff team. Columbus, really the imports from Ottawa have to gel. And Panarin has to get back on the horse too. Panarin's been cold lately as well. That being said, between Columbus and Montreal, if I had to make a prediction right now, I would say probably Columbus gets in. But Columbus, who a month and a half ago we're talking about, they look like they could be a Stanley Cup contender, and maybe they could win the division, and all of these other rosy ideals, they've kind of gone out the window at this stage, and it does look like Panarin and Bobrovsky will walk on July 1st. Columbus may be a team that has an identity crisis this summer. But if they can get in the playoffs, give themselves a chance. I don't like their odds if they ended up playing Tampa in the first round, but you never know. Just get in, and then you got your chance, right? So there you go. And again, I just added this at the bottom just for fun. Just sort of if this team finishes with this record, how amazing a record does the team below them have to put up? So if the Penguins put up a 7-7-1 record, 500, highly doable. They're 9 points clear of Philly, so really for Philly to catch them is darn near impossible. Columbus, it's not impossible, but Columbus has to play better than they are right now. So there you go. Let me know which teams you think are going to end up finishing in the playoffs. Can Arizona maintain this? Does this team of basically a no-name offense, hardworking defense, and the amazing goaltending of Darcy Kuemper, can that storyline continue to get them in the playoffs? And believe me, as much as I understand my wife, one of her favorite teams is Minnesota. I think if Arizona made the playoffs, that would make things kind of sort of amazing. I do, because they haven't been in the playoffs in so long, we would have no idea what to expect. And with such a no-name roster, yes, they could get swept in the first round, and we're not talking about it much after that. Or they might be really hard to play against because you don't have any one player to pin down. And if Kuemper can bring that game into the playoffs, you just never know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.